Right, what I'm going to do now today, machine up the blank gears. I've got one to do there, one to do there, and a sliding one in here. So let's get on. Right, I've mounted the blank in the lathe. I'm going to face this off. Then there's a little recess of about a 1/16 deep, and then I'm going to bore through to fit on the shaft. Then I'll turn it over, face the other side off. Right, that's that side faced off. I've taken half of what I need to take off for the overall width off of this side. Next I'll change the bit and do my little recess. Right, I'm just doing the recess. That's the recess done. What I'll do now is I'll just bore through to fit onto this shaft. Right, so I've put the pilot centre drill in. Just working my way up through the drills now. And then I'll have to put the boring bar back in. Right, I've got a boring bar to bore out the hole to fit on this shaft. Right, that's that bore done. It's a good tight fit on there. Now I'll turn it over, face off the back side so it's the right width. Right, that's that then. Now I can mount that on the arbor and turn the overall diameter down. Right, I'm just going to turn the overall diameter down now. That is that turned down to the right size diameter now. Right, that blank I've just turned down. If you look carefully, once I cut the teeth, that'll mesh in there lovely, look. So those two blanks are done. Now the next one I'll do is that one over there, and then this one here. I don't think you need to watch me machine those. So I'll just get those done, get back to you. Right, so that's all the gear blanks for the second shaft turned up. This one here is going to be a 29 tooth gear. This one in here is going to be a 21 tooth gear. That one over there is a 21 tooth gear, and the sliding gear is going to be a 21 tooth gear. So let's set that up to cut the teeth. Right, we're going to do the 29 teeth gear first. So we have to get the right plate with the amount of dividing holes in it and the right cutter. Well, obviously the cutter's easy because they're marked on there, look. So we got 26 to 34. So I'll be using that cutter for 29 teeth. Next thing, it's going to be what dividing plate we're going to use. So as you can see, I've got 3 plates, and they go from 15 to 20, 21 to 33, 37 to 49. So we need to put the right dividing plate on the dividing head. My dividing head's got a ratio of 40 to 1, so we'll put that over there. And then 29 teeth, we'll put that there. Right, so to get the right plate and how many holes, there is a 29 tooth, 29 hole plate, look. So there's the holes there, look. 29. So we use that plate. Now, to get the amount of holes, we have to go 29 into 40 goes 1. Put that there. Leaves 11. So what we got to do now, that's 1 full turn and 11 29s. Okay, so that means with that plate, if you got your pin in the 29 hole there, I always start that as 0, so I'll cut the first tooth there, and then you go 1 full turn and then 11 29s. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that'll be where your pin will go in for your second tooth. And then the next one will be 1 whole turn plus 11. So I'll get this all set up. Right, I've got all this set up. This is set to the height dead center of the blank. I've got my disc in. I don't know if you can see it from here, but what will happen is I'll cut the first tooth and then I'll turn this 1 full turn and then 11 holes. Then that will be the second gear. Slide this round and then cut the tooth 1 and then 11 holes. Then that will be the next tooth and so on. 1 whole turn and 11 holes. Right, So I'm going to get on and start cutting now. I'll just set that back to 0. There we are. Right. And as normal, I'm going to cut this at half depth and then go round again at full depth. And I've made sure everything is done up tight. So here's the first tooth at half depth. Right, now unlock, pull the pin out, 1 full turn and 11 holes. There we are. Tighten that up, slide that around, ready for the next one. Now I'll cut the second one. I think the milling machine's giving up. Right, you may notice that this stopped. Something went wrong. So, what I've done, I took the fuse out of this plug and put it on a multimeter. That fuse was okay. On the switch box there's a fuse here, so I took that out, checked that on the multimeter, and that was okay. So what I did next is I took this cover off with the multimeter. I checked to see if there was power to the switch. No volt switch, so there was no power. So I've spun the milling machine around and I've taken the back cover off, and what did I see? This coil here has dropped off of this lower circuit board. Look, should be in there. So it must have been a dry joint, but I'm surprised it lasted so long. So that stopped play, so I've got to get this circuit board out, clean this up and see if I can solder it back in there and see if it works. If not, you can buy these circuit boards quite reasonable price on the internet, and you can buy all these circuit boards as well. So I should get that board out, clean up and solder it back on, see if it works. Here's the offending article there. Need to go in there on that circuit board. So let's try and solder it in. Just going to try and put some solder in there. Those two joints there, look. Right, that's soldered on. Have a look. Here we are. Let's get that wired into the milling machine. So I've got that wired into the milling machine. That's the live cables coming from the plug. The bits of tape on those cables is just because they're two black ones. I marked them at top and bottom on the output one. Right, let's just put the plug in and turned on. Just come round here. Right, so when we turn this on, we got a little green light. Look, I'll turn it off. There we are. And then that should go. There we are, back up and running. I'll just get the back of the box back on and that. Right, now we're up and running. I can carry on and cut the teeth on my gear blank now. Right, that's the second one cut halfway to half depth. Right, I'll just go round and cut the rest of the teeth at half depth and get back to you. Right, I've just cut the last tooth halfway through. Now I'm going to adjust the depth of cut to the full depth of 216 thou. Right, I've set the depth of the cut to 216 thou. I've just cut this first tooth. Right, that's the first tooth cut. What I'll do now is I'll carry on and cut the other teeth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of wood there and clamp the gear there and down on the plate. That will help with some of the vibration. I only did the first one so you can see what I was doing. Well, today being a nice day, I thought I'd have a rest from the workshop. Spend some time in the sun. There's a few cruise and ships in the bay moored up. There's the people getting their pedalos ready. Glorious. This is about 3 minutes from my house walking. Come to sunny Weymouth. It's about 25 to 10 and it's glorious. Right, after having a nice day out in the sun yesterday, back in the workshop, I'll finish cutting this 29 tooth gear. Right, I've just cut the rest of the teeth. Right, I've just cut the last two. Let's get that off and have a look at it. Right, that's 129 tooth gear. I'm very happy with how that's turned out. Right, that's the 29 tooth there. That's about all I've got time for this weekend. Hopefully next weekend I'll have this 21 tooth gear done, that 21 tooth gear done, and earlier in the video I said 21 tooth for that, but that's not, that's a 24 teeth gear. So hopefully I'll have these other 3 gears done. And by next weekend I'm hoping on the drawing it's got a choice, either making the crankshaft from round stock and flat stock or a casting. Well, I've ordered a casting to see if I can machine the crankshaft all in one. So we'll have a look at that. So please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler's Showman's traction engine.